Hi, all. My name is Tori Fitzpatrick. I work within the business development department here at Spectrum Healthcare Resources. Today, I am joined by our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. James Belke, and our Recruitment Director, Mr. Stephen Donzi. We're here to talk to you a little bit about what the application process, credentialing, onboarding process, what that's like with Spectrum, how we're a little bit different than some of the other companies that are in this same line of work. Don't forget to check us out on our social media networks. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We also have a wealth of knowledge on our website at www.spectrumhealth.com. So we hope you enjoy, and let us know if you have any other additional questions.
My name is Dr. James Belke. I'm speaking to you today from my office in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm the Chief Medical Officer with Spectrum Healthcare Resources. I've been affiliated with the company for just over 30 years now. I grew up here in Colorado and completed college outside the state, attended medical school at the Oklahoma University School of Medicine, and then completed my pediatric residency and fellowships at Georgetown University out in Washington, D.C. So way back in 1990, a recruiter with Spectrum Healthcare Resources, then a fledgling, pretty new company, contacted me and asked me if I was interested in coming back and working with as a pediatrician at Peterson Air Force Base here in Colorado Springs. I was eager to move back to my home state and took responsibility as a clinician at that clinic and have worked with Spectrum Healthcare as a practicing pediatrician at military facilities since that time. I've served as pediatric medical director, regional medical director, and chief medical officer, and that brings me to this opportunity to share our company a little bit with y'all.
All right. My name is Steve Donzi. I'm here at Spectrum Healthcare Resources in our St. Louis office. I've been with the company just over 19 years. I've been in a few different roles, but everything has really been focused on the recruiting side of the house. My current role is Director of Recruiting and Operations, so I work with all the recruiting team to make sure they're successful and making sure we're putting our very best people to work and truly serving the patients that on these military and other federal facilities. I've lived in St. Louis my whole life. I actually have my undergraduate, master's degree and MBA here locally from Webster University. And yeah, thrilled to be a part of the company for as long as I have been. All right, so who is Spectrum Healthcare and what do? We help people end their job search, essentially, and that's speaking from the recruiting standpoint. We put people to work all across the country and internationally, which is always very exciting, but we are recruiting physicians, nurses, social workers, psychologists, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, physical therapists, nearly any medical professional walk of life. And we're there to do what we can to help fulfill the contracts with the federal government. Mostly staff on Department of Defense, but we also staff VA and other federal facilities all across the U.S. And yeah, we staff individuals to work in long-term positions. We're not a locums company. We're not a short-term staffing company. We're really out there looking for people looking for a long-term position that's really going to fit a lifestyle that may be more conducive to family life, and really let them focus on taking care of patients as opposed to running a business or managing staff. One of the biggest things we find is the amount of workload that they're going to see. So I think about a more traditional primary care environment out in the civilian world, in a hospital setting, a regular outpatient clinic setting. They may see, 3.5, 4, maybe more patients an hour, just depending on how the day is flowing. In a federal environment, in a traditional primary care setting in these federal environments, they're really only going to be scheduled roughly anywhere between 19 to 20 patients per day. That's just right about 2.5 patients an hour. So we always like to kind of paint the picture for our candidates too, to say, think about how much more time you get to spend with that patient. It gives you time to get your patient notes in the system, so you're not scrambling at the end of the night to really cram all these notes in. You really get to spend the quality time with these patients, take your time, and really provide the care that you prefer to do.
Yeah, what's unique about working specifically with Spectrum Healthcare Resources, as opposed to perhaps other government contracting companies, we've been reliably and regularly in the top 2, 3 of this type of staffing organization for the last 25 years. And therefore have established a reputation, a tradition, and really been able to hone the processes as far as privileging and credentials, advocating for our physicians in the field, getting to know the locations where we're sending people. In a no-COVID time, one thing our company takes a lot of pride in is how frequently we travel to the sites. If it's in Anchorage, Alaska, or Tampa, Florida, or any place in between, it's so nice to know and meet our clinicians on the ground, and then know and understand their environment and the leadership they're in. And so that's something that Spectrum's prided himself in and continues to do regularly. Spectrum Healthcare Resources is a relatively small company, though administratively, and it's large enough to protect and support our physician cohort in the field, and that's what we wish to do, but small enough that Steve or myself or Tori or our 80 people in the administrative office in St. Louis know our clinicians in the field, communicate regularly, we can respond quickly, and as asked, we can advocate for you as well.
We get asked pretty frequently, how do we apply for a job, and how do we connect with us? I love answering that question. Number one, you can go to our website. It's spectrumhealth.com. We have look into our healthcare opportunities section on our website. It's real easy to go on, create an online profile, gives you the opportunity to submit a resume, cover letter, any other notes you'd like to add as well. Even if we don't have an opportunity available for your specific specialty, or even in that specific location, what you're interested, I still welcome you to input your profile because new opportunities come open all the time, and they're varied in nature, whether they're full-time, part-time, PRN, or as needed. We're starting to see a little bit more with telehealth with the federal government, not quite as there as the rest of the civilian world, but we're starting to see a little bit more uptick in that. So we do encourage everyone to apply, even, like I said, even if you don't see your specialty on there, even in that location. There's always new opportunities come out there. And there's also the opportunity on our website to get set up for alerts. So, if you are looking for an opportunity in that unique location, or you have a specialty that may not be as prevalent out there in the civilian world, I encourage you to sign up because you can get alerts for those.